Talk a little bit more about education here at home. The Daily Caller says a public school district in Michigan is being accused of hiding transgender identity of students from their parents. The district denies these allegations, but documents obtained by a parent organization says otherwise. The forms by Davison Community Schools appear to instruct teachers and staff on how to hide gender-related issues from the parents of these students. And joining us now is the reporter who broke this story, Chrissy Clark. Great to see you, Chrissy.
Thanks for having me.
And again, this is just another example of, we just played that clip from Fetterman, too, about going to the teachers' unions first to fix schools, not to the parents. But this is the mindset of the left, that the kids belong to the schools, and anything that comes between them and their parents is secondary to the relationship that the kids actually have with the schools themselves.
Right. So I reached out to this school district in Michigan, and I asked them, is this something you guys really believe in? And they explicitly kind of towed the line, unlike school districts I usually talk to. They usually kind of, the typical school district, they'll skirt the line a little and say, oh, you know, we wouldn't intentionally do this, or this is a part of our diversity, equity, and inclusion program, and they kind of give weird reasoning. This school district specifically said, we would never hide the gender identity of our students from our parents, while I'm simultaneously looking at a document that says we hide the gender identity of our students. It was just mind-bogglingly, it was a blatant lie I got from this woman. These documents, though, John, I will say, they're not rare. They're becoming more and more common. And parents were, for so long, thought that they would be able to have access to their children's record because we have federal statutes in place that allow that. But what school districts are doing are creating temporary files for gender support plans. And this forces the school districts to be able to hide the gender identity of their kids from the parents. It's very, very constructed in a very, very specific way so as to get away with an agenda.
And when you read stories like this one, Chrissy, you're reminded of how much momentum is behind this and how long this has been in the works and why, you know, these schools would just be so, I don't know, kind of indignant to requests like yours. Like, oh, no, we're just going to lie to your face and pretend like it's not happening and hope you go away. But I don't think you're going to go away, are you?
Oh, absolutely not. Come on, I'm like the most annoying reporter ever. I'll be down your throat if I need to. I just see this, and I look at this school district, for instance, and, you know, this is grounds for litigation. I mean, you're seeing Parents Defending Education, which is the concerned parent organization that tipped me off to this story. They're suing a school district in Iowa that's doing the exact same thing. These files that you have on gender and sexual identity, they are supposed to be under a federal statute. Again, a federal statute that parents have access to these rights and information, and these school districts are specifically skirting it. They're skirting federal guidelines that the Biden administration has kept in place. So you look at this and you have to wonder, like, how many more lawsuits are we going to see against school districts before we finally see a change?
A bit of an awkward situation for the Education Secretary, Miguel Cardona. You have these policies in place, but here's a school district which is flaunting them in your face. What are you going to do about it? That also means you have to come out kind of on the side of parents. So very, very unique situation. So the documents also seem to show the district developing a plan for students struggling with what they call their authentic gender. And that they can be supported, quote unquote, in the school. Tell us more about this.
Right. So school districts, again, I've seen this out of North Carolina. I've seen this out of Iowa. I'm now seeing it out of Michigan, where they create these plans that allow students to choose where they're going to go to the bathroom, where they're going to get dressed, and like which locker room they're going to get dressed in and whatnot. And it's kind of like a guideline and a plan for how to socially transition your kid. And I understand that sometimes parents don't think that pronouns are the worst things in the world. Okay, my kid is 14 years old. They want to be called Frog for 2 weeks, whatever. Let them be called Frog. It's a phase. They'll grow out of it. But what happens with the educators is it's almost like a weird form of obsession where they see the pronouns and then they want to dig further into it and be like, okay, but what do you think about your gender identity? What do you think about maybe using a different bathroom, instead of just allowing the kid to kind of watchfully wait and figure out where they belong years and years down the road. Instead, they just start pushing it on them through these gender support plans that come in this physical copy that they're now putting on their websites. So, I mean, if you're a parent out there and you're like, oh, is this happening at my school? Please be sure to check this out. A lot of this is public information, these gender support plans. please, yeah, reach out. We need to expose this.
Know that it's public information and know that you have a right to see it. And ask for it, and be a pain in the neck like Chrissy can be sometimes, or like I used to be when I was making beat calls as a reporter too. You deserve this information as parents. Chrissy, great to see you. Great job as always, and always
Thanks,
checking
Sean.
you out at the Daily Caller. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.